All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Game 3 of Not Today versus Elite Wolves. This is a playoff game, upper bracket of the Sudamerican Master 4. The winner of this game gets to progress on in the upper bracket. The loser will fall down to the lower bracket and face off against Equipo at some point. Again, the winner gets to face off against Pain Gaming a little later on, so this is going to be a deciding game. I will be your Hypecaster Android. I have no shortage of energy here to take on this game number 3, and I am being joined by the lovely Cygnus Casting. How you doing, girl?
I am doing quite well. However, I'm not sure how well Not Today are doing after that last game. That OD absolutely just wrecked them. 14-2. It was not a fun time. Now, this is what I'm a little bit surprised. We see the Ember being banned out, and then we see Beastmaster. Beastmaster, fair enough. However, we don't see OD banned out. Elite Wolves have second pick, and the first pick out of Not Today is a Witch Doctor. So
Woohoo!
they don't prioritize any of like the tier 1 picks. There isn't an Invoker, there isn't an OD, even an IO. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But Elite Wolves have opted to go for Enchantress and a Tusk, which I actually really like. Enchantress, amazing offlaner. Tuskar, we've seen him. He's like the poor man's Earth Spirit.
All right, so it's going to be OD left in the pool for Elite Wolves. Is that a big mistake by Not Today?
It's going to be their fourth ban. If they want to secure themselves that lane.
Yeah, I love the Enchantress pickup here. We are going to see Smash offlane Enchantress. What a dirty, dirty sight. I know you and I casted that Pro Dota game where Sing Sing was offlane Enchantress and was godlike by like 15 minutes. Smash can do the same thing. He is perfectly capable of taking this Enchantress and just destroying Not Today with it. What did Not Today have to pick up aside from the Ursa to get it down? Because Ursa is a pretty nice counter to the Ench, but I'd like to see a Zeus as well, just for maximum magical burst.
It can be a Zeus. I think I like the Zeus. That's going to force Enchantress to end up most likely being turned into a support, which is kind of the nice thing about Enchantress is that if you get super counterpicked because you first picked her, then you can bring her into a support role. She does well in both roles. Here, I'm wondering with the Slark ban, if Not Today are going to try to grab the OD themselves or an Invoker, but Elite Wolves get the first pick out of this bit. Like, they get the first selection after their next ban.
I am just genuinely surprised we've seen no love for the Invoker or the OD so far. Both absolutely game-winning heroes. We'll have to see what comes out of this ban. It's going to be a ban on the LDs, so enough of that bear. Don't want to deal with the late-game potential. I don't know if that's what Not Today we're looking at. I don't think you need more than one bear on a team, and Ursa, more than enough to provide that early game damage.
Yeah, I really like the Ursa. He's going to offer up Not Today a bit of an already sided with the Roshan advantage by just being inherently on Dire. And then you have an Ursa on top of that, which secures the Roshan just a teeny bit more. In response also to the Enchantress, which Doctor does very well with the Death Ward once he hits level 6. And I really feel like Not Today, like I'm not being mean, but I think they made a huge mistake by not banning out the OD.
Oh, we got a Crystal Maiden, yay. But I completely agree. I think we saw Van just get absolutely disastrous on the OD, and with the Enchantress on the back lines, able to dish out so much right-click damage. Maybe Not Today are trying to pick a lineup that, they know Elite Wolves are going to go for the OD, so they're intentionally drafting around it, but God, it just seems like such a big mistake. OD was such a big problem last game that Not Today couldn't deal with, and to let it slip through like that feels really spooky. And now we got a Phantom Lancer as well. So much damage for Elite Wolves, and I think this draft is going to scale tremendously. You've got Tusk for nice early game rotations, OD going to destroy the mid lane and mid game, and Phantom Lancer can scale awesome into the late game as well.
Phantom Lancer is a great choice right now. Ursa is very similar to Spectre in just having a complete inability to be able to deal with illusion heroes. So Ursa doesn't have a lot of wave clear in a sense. Is all about single target, which is not good for Outworld Devourer, but Phantom Lancer completely deals with that. Phantom Lancer with Spirit Lance also allows him to kite the Ursa, which is another aspect of Ursa, which is how you beat him. Also, drafting around the OD, so far with the support picks, Not Today are not doing that. Crystal Maiden, although she is an intelligence-based hero, she actually has a pretty low int. She's received several int nerfs just progressively over the last couple of years. And yeah, she has a lot of that great mana regeneration, but I'm sure you've played her. I've played her. She can cast 1, 2 spells at like level 3, level 4, and then she's like done. So OD going to rip her apart with the Sanity's Eclipse. Ursa, agility, not a lot of base int. Sanity's Eclipse once again going to rip him apart as well. And Witch Doctor, they're picking up this Wind Ranger to try to counter the OD. It worked well. It worked pretty well, but they don't have as much of the rotation. Not today. This time.
I'm I'm very surprised that this is a Windrunner instead of a Zeus. I think the reason you pick Crystal Maiden is because there's someone on your team that's going to have severe mana problems. That person's usually an early game Zeus. So you pick up the Crystal Maiden, you max the aura. Maybe Crystal Maiden's there to provide the Frostbite so the Ursa can get early kills. It's fantastic lockdown, even from level 1, and Crystal Maiden can hop into the jungle if things get spooky in lane, but I'm just seeing Not Today not responding to Elite Wolves' draft, and it's one of the strongest drafts that I have seen in recent times.
10 seconds remaining.
It could also be maybe a comfort thing. Sometimes sometimes pro players have like a preference as to how they want to lane things. And Not Today have a really strong laning presence. You have Ursa who can get some great early kills. We have a Witch Doctor Crystal Maiden who can offer up some disable to also just be able to secure that. Wind Ranger at least so far, has done very well in lane against COD and has managed to pick up a couple early kills. But then beyond that, wasn't really doing all that much against COD. I like the Tuskar. I think maybe that was another reason why Not Today wanted to pick up the Wind Ranger.
I have a qualm.
What's your qualm?
They picked up a Clockwork, which means it's going to be a position 4. Tusk doesn't play a good 5. Enchantress doesn't play a good 5. They both need to be roaming. They both need to be position 4. Who's babysitting your PL? Where's Clockwork going to get his farm? He struggles so much in the offlane. I really think it should have been a Smash Enchantress offlane and pick up a babysitting support for the PL.
I agree. I actually would have really liked to see a Dazzle in this particular case, too. Dazzle goes very well with Phantom Lancer, just with the inherent ability to get a couple illusions around a hero. You use the heal bomb. On top of that, the base armor on OD isn't exactly the highest. It can babysit extremely well, and it allows you to have the Enchantress in the offlane. I feel like you are squandering the offlane by... Wait, what? Van is going to be playing the Clockwork?
Alright, let's just screw... This gotta be... It's gotta be a swap. No, they've gotta get in game and swap this.
They're trolling the casters.
They're trying to make my life miserable. Good God, Van, I thought we had something. No, I think eventually Van's gonna swap to his OD, because again, he's 7-0, and I don't think I've ever seen him play Clockwork.
It's like mid-Clockwork?
That's not a thing, and that shouldn't be a thing when you have an OD on your team. Even a PL makes a better mid. Even a Tusk makes a better mid than a Clockwork, so we'll see what's going to happen. They could change up the positioning and maybe have someone else running the OD, but let's go ahead and pray that Van swaps. Oh God, it's Smash on the OD! What's happening? It's going to be Ewo on the PL, which is no surprise there, but Van, maybe that's a comfort pick for him. I haven't seen him run it in the last 10 months I've been casting the Sudamerican Masters, so we'll have to see what's going on there, but I don't...
Well, OD has purchased his items, so there's no swap coming out. It's going to be Smash in the mid lane, I guess. They're just going to swap it up.
I'm scared. I'm frightened. I think Ewolf's had such a good thing going with the Van OD, so we'll have to see if he's able to pull off a Clockwork. But again, Clockwork almost always starves in the off lane and only makes up the disadvantage from raking in kills as soon as he reaches level 6 and is able to roam with his team. So E-Wolves, they're taking risks here. I'm not sure that I'm a fan. I think we're into a game 3 that controls whether or not you move on in the tournament or drop down, and you don't want to be trying anything funky. You don't really want to be messing around for that.
I think the clockwork in concept can sort of work because I think he's going to get his cogs first. Yeah, that's actually precisely what he did. And he's going to use the cogs defensively against the CM and the Witch Doctor. That's going to limit their ability to gank because both of them have fairly low mana pools at level 1, so First Blood's going to be a little bit hard. At least I would hope in concept. But as long as he gets the cogs off before Ursa can get inside them, then he should be able to disengage fairly confidently.
The cogs are also going to be a really powerful mana burn tool if he wants to use them in that way, but I think even the players are confused about what's going on. We're going to see Van start things out, getting harassed by the Witch Doctor. Going to be frozen up there with the Frostbite. This is going to be some heavy damage onto Van, and again, Clockwork now has to starve. He doesn't have any long-range farming potential.
He also doesn't have really an Iron Talon.
Oh, M-God!
Oh, no.
Down bottom, the Ion Shell just proved too much. Able to get a kill on the Tusk, so Ewo, he backs off. He's almost fresh out of mana, but Darkseer really showing the power of even the level 1 Ion Shell, just blocking Tusk in. Tusk thought he could man fight, but he's just not big enough yet.
This Clockwork is getting 0 out of this.
That's exactly what Clockworks usually do. I mean, he has a deny, so, you know, claps for him, but Clockworks are usually starved. He's going to go and use the cogs to block his creeps, which, yeah, alright, he's going to have the lane pushed a little bit more towards his advantage. Mid lane, there's going to be a gank, there's going to be a nice snowball connecting onto Leo Style. He goes in with the Windrun, but he's netted in place by the Enchantress creep. Going to be taking a boulder as well. Leo Style, the Windrun wears off, it's only level 2, and now MCOT actually getting very, very low. Tusk might have just bit off more than he could chew. Will end up going down. Leo Style, very good composure, did not panic, instead turned and got a kill, and now Smash, not sure what to do here. He's kind of getting whipped by a Windrunner.
I just want someone to explain the logic to me why you're putting Van on a Clockwork.
There's no logic in this game. That's just kind of how it's gonna be. I mean, meanwhile down bottom, we've got Ion Shells for days. Ewo able to farm them up a decent amount. He puts 2 points in the Spirit Land, so he's got a little bit of long-range harass, and that's gonna be a nice safe lane for the PL. He's able to deal, one of the few melee carries that's actually very efficiently able to deal with the Ion Shell.
Well, he has 60 experience.
Van, I mean, you got 60 experience, you might be dying again, as Ben doesn't feel that spooked. In fact, Masoki might go in, Hellbear Smasher could end up clapping. Clap does not connect, and Ben just going to go fight it out with the Hellbear, so it's bear-on-bear action here, as Van's forced to cobble up that salve and keep himself healthy. He has the cogs ready to go, the Enchantress does not have the enchant, so it's just going to be a very stagnant lane. You don't want to have to rotate in your Enchantress to help your Clockwork. Just everything about this confuses me.
I don't know what you do with the Clockwork at this point, but I think the Enchantress just needs to be the offlaner here.
I completely agree. I think Enchantress makes a lot more sense as an offlaner, but you're putting your support player on the edge. Honestly, the Clockwork pick seemed like someone accidentally hit the random button and they're just dealing with the fallout. I thought Smash, he picked up Enchantress. It's his second most picked up hero this patch, and Van plays a heck of an OD, so why fix what ain't broke?
Alright, well, maybe we should frame the question another way. What does Clockwork lend to E-Wolves against Not Today? The ability, long-range initiation on some channeling abilities, on the Crystal Maiden, on the Witch Doctor. He can chase the Windrunner, potentially, if he actually gets level 6 at any time in the future. from a distance as well. Chop her in the cogs, make her waste her wind run.
Mid lane, Leo style in some trouble, does not have the win run, the mana is burned, and Smash able to get a kill, the Fairy Fire gobbled up, but not enough. So that's going to be a nice advantage going the way of Smash. But I do agree that the long range ability to interrupt the channeling is perhaps a fantastic reason to pick Clockwork. I just don't know if he makes sense in this lineup. So he's a great counter to Not Today, but where does he fit in Ewolf's draft?
Well, that could just be a drafting problem with... Oh no, Van.
Buddy, no! Back to the grave. So Ursa able to pick up an assist. It was actually Witch Doctor that gets the kill. So the early gold feeling good, and Van continues to starve in lane. He's got one last hit, 2 denies. He is level 3, barely. Meanwhile, Ursa, who's been slapping against him, is level 5, almost level 6.
Radiant's middle tower is under
It's going to be a really fast... I imagine Mask of Madness coming out on Ursa. I actually prefer that as his form of lifesteal, the Mask of Madness over the Vlads. It's really a preference thing for the majority of players. I feel like Vlads is like an older build, but...
The Ursas that I've seen recently just pick up the casual Morbid Mask and hold on to that after the first rush. We are going to have a rotation in. Smoke up from Ewolves. They're wrapping around mid lane, trying to force out the wind run here from Leo style. He's going to be going into the wind run for him, but okay, miscommunication as the Hellbear claps as the Astral goes through, so Smash not able to get that lockdown, but now the wind run expires. The raw damage is enough. There we go. No uphill miss can save her now, so Enchantress gets a nice kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane, everyone is super, super low as King Tekka wants to go in. The Ion Shell doing a fair amount of damage to Ewo, but he will get away courtesy of that doppelganger, and now it's just going to be a 1v1 as King Tekka wants to find someone to chase down, but he doesn't want to bite off more than he could chew. Ewo actually gets wrapped around on by Nightmare. Wall committed! Darkseer kill secured, I guess, but that's a long cooldown spell for what should have been just a right click.
It was pretty close. At this point in the game, it's 6 minutes. You can afford to lose the ultimate.
I mean, Darkseer's not going to need to fight again in the next minute anyway, so we'll see if that was an overall worthwhile use of the wall.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I think the last thing I will say about the offlane Clockwork as well is in a current meta that really favors strong, high impact... That's sad face.
That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
High impact, really strong offlaners, Lone Druid, Enchantress, even in this case the Darkseer, and I just feel like Clockwork is a squandering of a lane that has had so much power in the last couple months in this game.
Yeah, the off lane kind of became the new mid in terms of the lane that really defines the mid game, defines the fight potential of the team, and I agree that I think Clockwork is underwhelming, but if he's viable against any draft, it's against Not Today, because you mentioned it, the channeling from Crystal Min's ultimate, from the runaway of the Windrunner, from Witch Doctor's ultimate. The hookshot is a nice long-range way to break that. I'm not a fan.
Level 6,
I'm not a fan, but I don't think it's as detrimental as I was first thinking.
You know, Van is a good player.
Oh, he's a fantastic player.
I'll wait till level 6, and then I will make my judgments.
Alright, there's going to be a snowball coming through. Looks like Nightmare will be the initiation target. That Witch Doctor just not able to get away with his life. He's only level 4, does not have his ultimate anywhere near ready to go. There's going to be another wall here from the Darkseer. That's going to be a fantastic use of the wall. Getting everyone low will secure a counter pick onto the Tusk. And now King Tekka chasing down Ewo with the illusions. They're going to put an Ion Shell on Ewo's own illusion, chasing him down. So it looks like Ewo going to be bottling up, trying to get out of here. Jericho going in with a nice freeze. Does not have enough mana for the nuke, but they're still able to secure a kill with the wall illusion. So fantastic playing there by Not Today. Darkseer really getting the most out of his abilities.
This Darkseer is doing a wonderful job against the PL. Even though the PL is still getting a lot out of the lane, he's 37 CS in comparison to Darkseer's 39. Safe lane to safe lane, Ursa is so far ahead right now.
He did opt to go for that Mask of Madness like we saw. Now he's holding on to the Aegis as well in terms of overall net worth. He is sitting happily at the top of the chart, followed up by the Darkseer, who, I mean, I don't think we can praise this guy enough for his early gameplay. Looks like M-God might want to rotate in. He's got the Centaur of the Enchantress, but Ben Haz will be having a spidey senses tingle and walk away into the side shop to buy a TP.
I'm trying to think about what the next step is for either of these teams. I feel like Ewolves they're just gonna probably sit back and try to secure as much farm as they can. Not today are not going to let that happen. They have an Ursa with the Mask of Madness. He has an Aegis. He's going to want to fight, and they're not going to give any space to this PL to just let him try to secure what I imagine wanted to be like a Boots of Travel, super farmy kind of greedy build. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Ewo's just felt a little bit too much pressure. Meanwhile, Clockwork finally gets a breath of fresh air, able to make his way into lane, but now Mask of Madness Ursa joins the party, and he's forced to back off mid lane, though. We could see Crystal Maiden getting punished. It's Jericho, just really not with anyone that can help her. She is going to get trapped in by an igloo and a bunch of blue men, and she is not getting out of here alive.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious ward that they caught her out in that position. There's no reason for her to be there, and they instantaneously just ping out that, yeah, there's vision here. It's a brand new, nice, fresh ward, too.
Leo Style will go in. We'll catch out Van there with the power shot. At least gets vision of him, if not some damage. Now, are they going to continue to dive Leo Style behind the tier 2? It's very ambitious, and it's just going to make some space here for the Enchantress army and OD to slap down this mid tower. There is going to be Tusk popping out the ice shards, zoning back Jericho just a little bit with the double damage rune. Oh, there's the hook shot from Van, trapping Jericho into the cogs. It's only a Crystal Maiden, but heck, it's a worthwhile kill. Van's still alive. Leo Style wants to get the pick. There's a vacuum into an Astral. Great play there by Smash, but not enough to save the life of Van. Now Ewo in some trouble. Wanted to initiate onto Nightmare, but oh, the death ward from the Witch Doctor. Nightmare is super strong, ends up going down. There's going to be a triple kill as OD falls as well. So Leo Style absolutely doing what we need here. Looks like Ewo is still alive for now on the back lines, but that is not the fight that E-Wolves wanted. They wanted to go in, they wanted to get the tower. Instead, the tower is denied. Leo Style still double damaged up, going to be going in. Look how much one hit does to M-God. My God.
So while that fight happened, it should be mentioned...
It's still going.
Oh no, it's still going.
Okay, King Tekka.
Alright.
He's going to surge himself back to base.
There's a triple kill on the Windrunner. They deny the mid tower, so the objective is, in a way, lost for the Radiant. On top of that, that entire team fight happened without an Ursa being on the field, and Ursa secured the top tower.
So not today, just basically wrecked face is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and there's the kill on Clockwork.
I missed it. Oh god, no. No one hate me. Ben has decided to pop his ult for that, but again, he's still sitting comfortably on his Aegis, still has a couple moments left to go in that as well. So Ursa, he's really enjoying himself. His kills aren't fantastic. He's 1-0-1, but he's getting what he needs to out of the map. He's now top of the net worth board by a more significant margin, and E-Wolves feel underwhelming.
Yeah, the OD is not doing as well as previously. He's opted to go for a Midas. I don't know how I feel about going that particular build versus an Ursa. You know that the Ursa is going to be trying to fight early.
Oh, Ben has...
Oh no,
speaking of fighting, he's pretty deep here. Where's the backup? Okay, there's the backup as Nightmare goes in, just immediately killed off. But Ben is able to get a return kill onto the Enchantress. That's a killing spree ended. There's going to be a wall going through as Smash getting very, very low, chased down by Wolves. Ben blinking in, finishing the job. Witch Doctor actually getting the kill there with the final take of the Maledict. And now M-God forced to run away with just 100 HP. And on the backlines, we've got Van. He used the hook shot. He has the cogs, but he's just a lowly Clockwork when the rest of his team has fallen.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Probably should mention a little fun thing there is with that Mask of Madness on top of the Enrage and the Overpower, Enchantress died in 3 hits.
Oh man, that is not even a fully farmed Ursa either. So she's going to end up just completely popping, and I think that's one of the weaknesses of support Enchantress. I mean, she didn't have a chance to build any of the items she wants. Looks like you're just going to go for the drums, but she's just nowhere near a Dragon Lance, nowhere near an Ags, if that is going to be the build she goes. It's pretty typical for Enchantresses, and she needed farm priority in order to be useful this game. Oh, Ben just jumping in the vacuum! King Tekka is a monster here on the Darkseer. It's going to be 2 more dead on the side of E-Wolves. This might be a very quick game 3. Not today, showing so much power. They almost have 7,500 XP in their favor, more than 7,500 gold. Ewo has just kind of played his own creep-clicking simulator here in the top lane, but how much longer can he do that with his Rack's going to be under siege very soon?
It's not a great place for him to be. He's had to go for the power treads, and it looks like it's going to be a defusal, potentially a Yasha coming out on him, and it's 14 minutes. You want to be a little bit further with this Phantom Lancer at this point in the game.
Yeah, he's feeling flimsy here. He's being surpassed by 3 heroes on the side of Not Today. And yeah, Phantom Lancer is kind of a late game hero, but he should be having more impact than he is. There's going to be Van positioning up, wanting to go for a hook shot, maybe here onto Ben Haas. Leo Style running away. So the Dire, they're showing restraint, which I really like. Leo Style is going to go in, power shot up, getting vision here. There's going to be a rocket flare coming out from Van, trying to get vision, but the rest of the Dire have backed off. Leo Style hopping into the wind run to try to get away with minimal losses. So Not Today, not compromising the advantage they already have, which is something that E-Wolves did in game 1. They just kind of sat around and wasted their advantage in the mid lane. So I'm liking the way Not Today is playing this a heck of a lot.
I am happy with how. Oh, what's happening here? I heard a shackle.
It was on the creeps, just easy way to clean up the wave as Ben Haas just goes in and starts munching on them.
Alright, I think we have a death ward up again, so it's going to be an objective, and I think it's going to be relatively uncontested. I don't think they need to use the focus fire from the Windrunner.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see what's going to happen here, as there is just going to be a very aggressive blink. Ben Haas wanting to go in onto M-God. Meanwhile, here, oh my gosh, the Radiant are so aggressive. Van trapped into the cogs will take a focus fire to the face, and now there's going to be a fantastic vacuum TP in from the Ursa. Van, he's going to go hookshot to neutral creeps. Will he get out of this one alive? I think Ben Haas can just chase him down. He's got the phase boost, he's got a blink. The focus fire is still going on. Ben Haas will end up getting the kill onto Van. So it's going to be a case of split target syndrome, as down bottom, Outworld Devourer is able to pick up the Witch Doctor, but it feels like E-Wolves, they take one step forward and have to take 2 steps back.
If this goes late, E-Wolves can definitely win this. It's a really, really rough game for them. Probably almost all the way up to the 30-minute mark, I would say.
How impactful is Ewo really going to be, though? Even if he gets all his items, it's going to be Ewo versus the world. M-God is going to go snowball the neutral creeps, maybe looking for the deny, maybe just praying for death, as Ben Haas jumps into the party. M-God, they're showing so much restraint, and actually, it is a neutral kill coming out, so Ben Haas maybe letting him have his one final moment of glory. Either way, the Ursa is starting to feel pretty massive.
Yeah, he is going to be going for a Skull Basher next, and that most likely will turn into an Abyssal Blade. That's going to mean if there was going to be a BKB coming out on any of the heroes, it's not going to be all that effective. However, really, only I think the OD would want to go.
There's a rocket flare scouting out all of Not Today, so now E-Wolves know exactly where to go. But again, they're not really making a whole lot of use of this. They're continuing to apply pressure mid lane, Van finally getting the much-needed farm, but for right now, Ewo is just ambling around the jungle, not really farming. He needs to constantly be applying pressure, constantly be getting farm. We see he is going to go for the Diffusal Blade. He'll have it up in just a couple of minutes as the courier flies through, but he is still nowhere near the net worth he needs to be at this point.
This is actually so good right now. The Roshan was an instantaneous Roshan. It was like on the dot, 10 seconds after the variance.
Up top, we are going to have Crystal Maiden letting it snow as Jericho is going to go through. We'll get trapped in the cogs. Maybe Van gets some sort of mercy killing here, and looks like that will be the case as they are able to trade their Crystal Maiden away to the Clockwork. There's going to be a nice hook shot, or sorry, latch connecting onto Masoku, but again, the Untouchable going to be doing some serious work there. Leo Style cannot break the TP, but does he have the damage? Looks like yes, the damage is enough. It's going to be an Enchantress going down. They also get a Roshan Aegis, that's the word. So it's feeling pretty good for Not Today. They lose their support. They get a support in return as well as an Aegis to continue to beef up their Ursa.
I thought the build was a little interesting with the Enchantress. It sort of makes sense. You're dealing with a Focus Fire and, of course, the Overpower from the Ursa. So you're just saying, alright, I'm just going to skip taking Untouchable completely. And we finally see one level coming out at level 8. And it doesn't really do much. I think if you're just going to dedicate yourself to skipping out on the Untouchable, just do it all the way. Yeah. You've already been pretty much significantly countered by every single one of the heroes, except for maybe Darkseer.
I think you're right. I think Enchantress really doesn't know what to do here. Kind of playing a scatter position. RU4, RU5. Hookshot connects onto Nightmare mid lane. They might get a Mercy killing again onto the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor, okay, they're just going to back off as they see mass TPs coming through. So smart playing from E-Wolves. There is going to be a cast canceling Van's TP. So Van, once again, has to take one for the team. We'll just get pummeled down. A final tick from the Maledict on the Witch Doctor is able to secure the kill. But meanwhile, Ursa getting a kill on the Enchantress. It's going to be an 0 for 2 all over the map. Enchantress microing your creep away, so you won't feel the damage of the claws of the Ursa. Again, not today.
She is just a delicious venison steak for this guy.
I mean, we're talking about natural selection here. Bears beat deers, flat out.
And now that the Skullbasher's out, I think we're going to probably see a BKB coming in on Ursa.
Yeah, I mean, he picks up the Mithril Hammer, so most certainly. And how far off are Not Today from high ground push? We see Ewo continuing to apply some split push, getting a decent amount of damage to the tier 2 tower, but I mean, Not Today. They're ready to go in for this high ground push. They're able to deal with the creeps. They get the creeps to the high ground. Now everyone on the high ground ready to go. There is a focus fire saved for the tower if they need it. Van, he's looking for the hook shot. He's got it in 2 seconds. He's frozen up for now. There's going to be a stomp. Getting Ben has stunned up for a little bit, but he's not really feeling a whole lot of burn. He's still got the Aegis for a fair amount of time. Rocket Flare goes through, keeping vision on everyone, but Not Today. They're still up. They're still healthy. They still got every single ultimate. They are certainly not trigger happy. Oh, Van gets latched to a tree. Long range. Saved by the Astral on the OD. There's going to be an Ice Shard coming through. Connects onto 2, but oh, King Tekka with the wall vacuum. It wasn't perfect, but it's certainly enough to start the party. There's going to be the Witch Doctor Death Ward. Getting down 1, getting down 2. They hop into safety snowball, but Crystal Maiden, she's dancing. She's going to get some kills. Will end up dying to towers, but she does her job here. Now Leo style wind run up. Still the evasion going through. Now Ben has doing some damage to the tower. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. There's going to be a Spirit Lance doing some serious damage to Nightmare. Humanda going down, but the Voodoo Restoration keeps him healthy. Masoku getting very, very low. Ben has a little bit conflicted on who he wants to go after here. He blinks up. He's going to take unnecessary damage, unnecessary tower shots. Ice Shards don't connect. He's able to get back, and he still has the Aegis if he needs it. So overall, Crystal Maiden falls. Not a whole lot accomplished from Not Today, but they are certainly rearing their claws.
That was a pre-BKB push onto the high ground, and they actually ended up chipping the tier 3 pretty significantly considering that engagement. I think if they wanted to, they could have maybe slow sieged, but certainly the push just from a solo PL is, well, it's nothing. He gets like a teeny tiny bit of damage on their tier 3s. Once BKB is out, actually, I think it's going to be out in 500 gold on this Ursa, so he might even have the BKB before the Aegis expires.
I doubt he'll get a chance to use it, though. I think he's just going to hang on to the Aegis for reliable regen. PL does opt to go for the Yasha, so it's most likely going to be a Manta for him. Still feeling underwhelming. He's 5th on the net worth chart. He's being heavily surpassed by the Ursa. And yeah, he could switch positions if this goes like 60 minutes, but it seems like Not Today. Once they get the BKB on that Ursa, they are more than content to go up to the high ground.
Absolutely. Well, it's the majority of the damage that is coming out of E-Wolves is mitigated just by that 10-second BKB. OD is your biggest right-clicker at the moment, because we have a Yasha pretty much on the PL. PL is not going to be able to try to lend to the kiting potential of the Spirit Lance by using that on the Ursa himself. It's, you know, you have immunity to the mana burn. The BKB is a huge pickup right now.
Looks like E-Wolves going to pop their Fortify here for their tier 3, so opting to just let it go. The tier 3 does fall from the slow siege, low ground from the Windrunner. Meanwhile, OD, he's waiting here. He does have the Sanities to drop. It's level 2, but Ben has just going after these melee crats. Rax starting to munch on them. His BKB is finished. His Aegis expires. He's not flying the BKB out just yet. There he goes. He clicks on the courier, and, well, it'll be arriving slowly, but sure, no, he's going to leave it in base for now. Just going to go in. They're content with their slow siege. They got the melee racks. They don't want to give up any unnecessary advantage. Smart fight from Not Today.
Yeah, they don't need to really push too aggressively at this point. They're not going to be falling off for a little while. And now that they have the BKB on the Ursa, they could probably, if they wanted, wait until the next Roshan before making another attempt. But I imagine we'll see those the ranged racks fall before then.
Yeah, E-Wolves do not have fantastic clear. The Phantom Lancer, he's going to be awesome with 2 points now in that juxtapose, but everyone else really not able to deal with the super creeps, and you want Phantom Lancer to be applying push of his own, not just dealing with the fallout of Brax being down.
Also, Smash's build, I like actually the Hyperstone pickup. They know that they need attack speed to just be able to get consistent damage out on the field. But it also means he's had to delay his BKB. I think we'll probably see the Moonshard come out before that.
You think he's going
Maybe
to
just
finish
a casual
Moonshard before he finishes
I feel
BKB?
like you get more... No, he just picked it up, never mind.
Yeah, that would be a question mark for me. I think
Well,
the BKB is
he had-
crucial.
He had it on the courier, so I didn't see it.
Sure. Either way, looks like not today. They're grouping up. They're going to try to get the final exterior tower here. The Fortify is still down on the side of Ewolf, so they don't have any way to protect that except by throwing bodies into not today's fire, and they're not going to opt to do that just yet. Guardian Greaves out by Darkseer, keep everyone healthy. Also has picked up a Mystic Staff, so that could be a Hex, it could be a Shiva's. If he wants to go really luxury, it's going to be an Octarine, but I'm thinking it's going to be a Hex.
I think Hex is the best choice. Alright, so Ben in the focus fire, just going for that tier 3.
I think just getting the exposed racks is a big enough threat. You constantly have to worry about, okay, hook shot in and a force tap out. They give Ben House a little bit of a stroke there, but no follow-up. It's going to be tier 3 down, and now again they still have the focus fire to work as Windrunner has the Aghanim Scepter. This is going to be pretty spooky. Meanwhile, mid lane, Evo is able to pick off the tier 3, going to apply some pressure to the racks, but all of Not Today can push quicker than a Phantom Lancer. They're going to go through. They do get the melee racks. That's going to be enough. And King Tekka going to be backing off here. How does he go up against Evo? Going to be dropping the vacuum, but now King Tekka bites off way more than he can chew. Looks like Evo might end up going down here. Just the cluster of illusions. King Tekka alive for now. Somehow, what is happening? Okay, Evo. He's going to be living through this, continuing to apply pressure to the racks. There's going to be a TP back from the Ursa. That's going to be Ewo's demise. Going to go through. They do get the smash. Do they have the ability to catch up to him? The blink goes through. There's going to be another doppelganger by the PL. He's running too fast. He's hasted up. So it looks like for now, Power Shot does not connect. Ewo, he's still alive somehow. Going to get trapped in the trees finally. Okay, that's going to be it for Ewo. He will pay with his life. But meanwhile, Van did die to the top lane. And Darkseer goes down, but it's worth the trade on the PL, honestly, and I think overall Ewolf still come out on the bottom.
It was necessary pressure. It was one of these things where you know that PL isn't going to have all that much impact during the team fight and during that Rax defense, so you're trying to bait the Dire into pulling back and defending their own Rax, which is what happened, but it was just not quite fast enough, and we do see that melee racks on the Radiant side now down. As long as this Ursa Bear is continuing to defang the Radiant, it's a pretty big disadvantage for E-Wolves. However, 15k and 10k in overall XP, or sorry, 10k in overall XP. Team net worth is peaking out at about 15. And I said it was about the 30-minute mark that we might start seeing some significant changes, but that net worth lead is pretty significant. We have an Aghanim Scepter on Nightmare. It's so much physical damage, so that BKB that we saw coming out on Smash, not the most effective anymore. You are really only stopping maybe Ion Shell and the ultimate from Crystal Maidens and Lockdown.
There's going to be the third rush onto the game. It's scouted out by Van. I don't know if E-Wolves get here fast enough to cause any sort of upset. The Roche, he's melting, and it's going to be the Aegis going down. We'll go the way of the Windrunner, as Ursa does not have time to mess with that Aegis anymore. He's going to be able to be fine just with the cheese. So we'll see what happens out of that. Is now Ewo, he's got a cluster of buddies going to be going in. There's going to be this Shiva's Guard now from King Tekka. He did opt to go that instead of the Hex, melting down the illusions. And Ewo, he has to back off here. Dire, they're kind of split up, getting surrounded by the Radiant. We'll see what happens in the back lines here. There's going to be a focus fire onto M-God, so Tusk going to hop into a safety snowball. We'll see where he's able to run with this. Just going to be going right back into the thick of it as Leo style. Yeah, it's going to be a Walrus Punch coming out, but just barely tickles as Darkseer will get the kill onto that. And there's going to be the Guardian Greaves keeping everyone full health. So Ewo's fighting 4v5 now, and, well, Ewo, he's going to be sticking on the base for this one. He's needed in these team fights.
Alright, so the final tier 3 stands in the way of victory for Not Today.
We'll see what happens. The
And
focus fire will come out. Leo Style taking some heavy downhill miss chances as she's standing on the stairs rather than just a couple units up that have given her the true hits. But now Leo Style just dealing with the PL illusions, which are kind of obnoxious. We're at the point in the game where PL starts being impactful, whether he's farmed or not.
the illusions are, oh no, Van.
It's
Force
like,
tap was pretty good.
he's going to be A-okay for now. Leo Style actually getting kind of low here. There's going to be a nice Ice Shards locking 2 in place. Let's see if Nightmare wants to do anything about this. He does have his ultimate, but he's going to get wailed on by PL Illusion. So Ewo, he's having the impact right now. We're going to see Not Today just kind of diddling their thumbs on the low ground, not getting together for pickoffs, not getting together for siege, and Ewolves will hold this indefinitely.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
It's going
Oh,
to be
they actually gave the cheese to Leo.
just have him munch that up. Jericho just on the backlines, taking some more illusions, and now Leo Style going in. Slow siege once again with that focus fire. The mischance is pretty great. Now we'll see what's going to happen as, well, no longer scared of those. Force staff up onto the high ground, trapped in the cogs, but is able to escape out. There is going to be a focus fire going through defensive Astral, preventing that from latching, and there's the death ward from the low ground, from downtown. The Aghanims all doing so much work with the wall, with the vacuum. Ewo, he will be falling. Triple kill for Nightmare. That was the ultimate of the century from Witch Doctor. Everyone is going to have to buy back on the side of E-Wolves. If they've got it, gotta spend it. PL back in the fight. Clockwork back in the fight. But is that enough? Ewo now looking to contest this as a full lane of Rax will end up falling. The GG is called out. Not Today take game 3 after a hard-fought victory. It's going to be Not Today taken 2 against E-Wolves as 1. E-Wolves drop down to the loser bracket in the Sudamerican Master 4 playoffs. What was that game? In 2 sentences, explain what happened.
I think Jericho would make a really good co-caster with his comments. I don't know what happened, honestly. Van should have been playing mid. Smash did not do very well. Like, he did okay in his lane. I won't take that away from him. He played as well as he could. It was just... I don't know what else to say, honestly. It was just a bad draft. It was not a good draft. You don't pick Clockwork into an off lane that you know is going to be a tri lane with a Witch Doctor and a Crystal Maiden and an Ursa, and you give Ursa free farm. Wind Ranger did very well. Darkseer could harass the Phantom Lancer. He's just a melee. It's inherent in that laning. I think they should have prioritized a different offlaner, and I think we should have seen a stronger mid laner.
I agree 100%, and I think we do have to
even
give
an
some
OD.
credit to Not Today, because E-Wolves, yeah, they made some fumbles, but Not Today played this so cleanly. They got the advantage they needed. Huge props to King Tekka on that Darkseer, because holy hell, those walls were something to get your heart rate up. So again, we hope you enjoyed the cast. We're going to bring you more Sudamerican Master tomorrow. We're going to start with the lower bracket games. So I have been Android. My co-caster has been Cygnus. Where can we find you, Cygnus?
You can just find me on Twitter. I'm at Cygnus Casting, and I would love to see you guys there. I will also be streaming on my channel a little bit later tonight, so I hope to see you guys.
All right, I have been Annie, aka Android, your hypecaster for the evening. If you enjoy my work or have any feedback, I would really, really love to hear it. I'm always looking to improve. You can find me on Twitter at Android, ANNEE. DROID, or on Facebook at facebook.com/AnnieCasts. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will bring you more Sudamerican Master 4 playoffs tomorrow night.